Another year and another headset is here, or well, soon will be. We've had a boatload of information leaked about Meta's upcoming new headset, the Quest 3S. From leaked images to entire spec sheets about this new headset. And there's one significant buying point that might make this headset the best selling of all time. But time is ticking, and most recent leaks suggest we don't have long to wait. So whether you own a Quest 1, 2 or 3, that time has come yet again to ask the question, should you buy the Meta Quest 3S? Now, I'm going to split this video into sections so you can check out each individual element, but I want to start with something that could be an improvement over both the Quest 2 and 3, and that's mixed reality pass-through. According to the leaked specs, the pass-through cameras of the Quest 3S are dual 4 megapixel at 18 pixels per degree, which puts it in the same position as the Quest 3. For those upgrading from the Quest 2, that's an upgrade from approximately 1 megapixel. The Quest 3S will use the same depth sensor as the Quest 3 and will have full colour pass-through, so that means you'll have a more accurate representation of the world, so no running into walls essentially. What might give it the advantage is a few years of data collected from the Quest 3. You might have noticed that the cameras have different placements, which might be due to better understanding where to optimally place for less distortion. When I went from the Quest Pro, a $1,500 headset, to the Quest 3, even though the Quest 3 was a third of the price, the pass-through was significantly better. So we could, in theory, expect the same with the Quest 3S, even though the external cameras are the same. Everything we've come to love from the Quest 3's mixed reality will be available for the Quest 3S, such as spatial mapping, where your room is automatically mapped, and other features like occlusion. And for those interested in testing some of these features, I highly recommend you try out Figment XR, where you can turn your living room into Bikini Bottom. For those coming from the Quest 2, you'll get access to significantly more features. Watching films in mixed reality, for example, is a much more natural and comfortable experience. Games that utilise your space around you are far more immersive, opening the door to another level of mixed reality. So if you're looking for better mixed reality experience, the Quest 3S might be the headset to choose. But the mixed reality will only look as good as the lenses and displays, and this is where things go, well, slightly backwards. The panel resolution is reportedly the same as the Quest 2, at a resolution of 1832 by 1920 on an LCD display, so it will be capable of 120Hz, which is the sweet spot for smooth VR. For comparison, the Quest 3 has a resolution of 2064 by 2208, which is a roughly 30% increase over the Quest 2. The 3S will also have the same optics as the Quest 2, which are Fresnel lenses, a downgrade from the Quest 3's pancake lenses. Pancake lenses allow for a smaller form factor and actually look like clear glass, opposed to the rings in the Fresnel lenses. While these are negatives, there are two areas which they could provide a distinct advantage over the Quest 3, and the first one is performance. The Quest 3S will have the same Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip as the Quest 3, which has roughly 2.5 times the GPU performance over the Quest 2. This is definitely noticeable for those considering upgrading from the Quest 2. The advantage lies with the lower resolution display for the Quest 3S. High resolution displays are something that really holds VR back in general. Standalone VR devices struggle on mobile chips, but the fact the 3S has a lower resolution means it could make greater use of the Snapdragon Gen 2 chip we mentioned earlier. This means potentially on paper it would be more powerful than the Quest 3. You'll definitely notice a significant performance increase over the Quest 2, with everything looking better, running smoother. Quite simply, if you're looking for some graphical differences between the Snapdragon chips, the graphical upgrades on some games are incredible. For example, The Walking Dead looks like a completely different game. One other thing to consider is that the Quest 2, much like the Quest 1, will start to become unsupported. With a cheaper Quest on the horizon, many developers will fade out updates and game releases on the Quest 2. This is unfortunate, but inevitable as we move through VR development. For those new to VR, you can expect some incredible games coming like Batman Arkham Shadow.
The Rat King will stop at nothing to destroy my city.
Alien.
By the time you hear this, I will have carved my name on the surface of this planet.
And fingers crossed, San Andreas VR. I've speculated for a while now that San Andreas VR is still coming, and the leaked advertisements for the 3S might have revealed what could be San Andreas VR. While this is speculation, the Quest 3 came paired with Asgard's Wrath 2. If Meta really wants to maximise sales, the optimal scenario would be a cheaper headset paired with San Andreas VR. This would be a dream scenario, but time will tell. But what if you're a PC VR user? With 40% of the Steam VR users using Quest 2, there's still a significant opportunity to provide a more compelling PC VR headset. But with the same optics and lenses of the Quest 2, the only real incentive I can see is the Quest 3S could have Wi-Fi 6E, which is the same as the Quest 3. When I used AirLink over my Quest 2, I experienced significant stuttering compared to the Quest 3, and I use this a lot, and I get almost no issues with my Quest 3. So if the 3S does have Wi-Fi 6E, that in itself is a significant improvement, along with possibly improved tracking and new controllers. The adjustment of the IPD also looks like it will be the same as the Quest 2, which has 3 different positions. Also to note, the Quest 3S will most probably weigh the same as the Quest 2, if not more than the Quest 2. And that's due to the older lens design. The lenses take up more space and that leads to a bulkier headset. From the leaked information, it also looks like these will include controllers, and these controllers will be the same as the Quest 3, which don't have that tracking ring the Quest 2 has. With each generation of Quest, I do feel like the tracking does improve, especially with software updates, and I expect the Quest 3 to be the same. Going back to that new camera layout on the front, this definitely has a purpose other than aesthetics. Many of you seem to dislike this design, but I personally quite like it. Now that brings me to the most important part, the price. VR is in a strange position when it comes to price. It's as expensive as an Xbox, but feels like it belongs in the Nintendo category, and it leaves Meta in a difficult position. But now with the Quest 2 at a reduced cost, probably to clear all excess stock, this leaves room for a new headset. There have been several reports of prices ranging from $199 to $299, and I think the price that makes the most sense is $299. Remember, these headsets don't really make any money from sales. As John Carmack recently mentioned in the post, the price doesn't even reflect R&D costs, and it's basically the material cost for a headset, which actually is insane value for money. But another question is, when can we expect this to be launched? Initially, rumours suggested mid-2024, but we are past that point now. With Meta Connect coming the 25th of September, we can expect the announcement of the Quest 3S at that event, and no doubt they'll want to ship this before Santa arrives. At that price point, with those specs, it should theoretically be Meta's best-selling headset at some point. It offers clear upgrades from the Quest 2 and provides a cost-effective leap. It might not make much sense for those who own the Quest 3, but for the majority of VR users who still use the Quest 2, it's the perfect in-between, with some potential to be the best in some areas. So what do you all think? Will you be buying the Quest 3S when it releases? Or are you waiting for the Meta Quest 4? Check out this video if you want to know more about that, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.